Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Noom by Hannah. It's so great to have you back with me. So today I wanted to talk to you about an app I've been trying out for the last couple of weeks called Noom. You may not have heard of it, so if you haven't, please stick around and I will tell you all about it. Before we get into this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you can get updates on amazing videos just like this one. I hope you enjoy the video. The app I've been trying for the last couple of weeks is called Noom. For those of you who haven't heard of this app, it is basically a weight loss program. The only difference is that it is based about psychology, the psychology behind weight loss and keeping the weight off, as opposed to just weight loss. Noom itself says it's a behavioural change company. It's basically all about learning rather than dieting. Now, when I was looking into this app, it's basically suggests that it's Slimming World, but for millennials. It's app-based only, and everything is done through the app. So I do agree, it's definitely for the younger generation, but it was so much fun to try. If you haven't seen my previous video about weight loss, I will pop a link above and I'll also put it in the comments below for you to have a look at. I have been on a weight loss journey for a couple of years now and I've finally cracked it, so I know what works for my body, what doesn't work for my body. So trying this app, it wasn't so much about that for me. It was more so about the accountability, and I just wanted something fun to get me back into losing the weight I gained over lockdown as well. I also just wanted to try a slightly different approach, just to see what other methods are out there rather than go ahead and get another online coach again for me. So it was just really to try something different, something new and exciting, just to see what else is on the market. The app itself is very easy to download. When you first sign up, it asks you so many questions. So it asks you, obviously, your age, your sex, what your daily exercise level is, just general questions like that. Everybody loves to talk about themselves, and for me it was quite interesting what questions they asked, and it also made me feel like the app itself was being tailored towards me as an individual rather than just a kind of cookie cutter type app. So to begin with, I felt quite special. I felt like the app was being specifically designed for me and my needs, and I thought that was a great way to start. I thought it was a really interesting approach. When I first opened the app, I could see that it had all the features that I needed. So you can track your weight. It's got a graph that shows where you're at now, where you want to get to, and kind of how it goes down. It also allows you to track your food, so you input all of your meals in a day, all of your snacks, and it kind of calculates, it splits it down into red, yellow and green foods. So obviously green being the best foods for you, the red foods being the worst, and the things that it doesn't prohibit them, but you kind of have to watch that you're not having as many. So those are the regular kind of features I'd expect on an app like this, so that was no surprise. In addition to that, there was a couple of features which I also quite liked, which were included. There was a recipe tab, so you could find different recipes to suit your calorie needs for the day. That was really helpful. Another interesting feature was that every day you actually get some bite-sized pieces of information. So it teaches you about the psychology behind weight loss, how your brain's actually thinking, and just really useful tips, not only to lose the weight, but to keep the weight off as well. Another really good feature was that you get your own personal coach. Now, they are human, they are there, you can message back and forth with them. Sometimes the answers are slightly robotic, but I think they're probably just cut and paste jobs. The interesting thing for me was that when I was speaking to the coach, I did mention that I have a problem with consistency, so I would start a program, and then maybe a couple of days into it, if I suddenly have a weight gain or an unexpected drop in motivation, sometimes I can lack consistency. So the next couple of days, all of my lessons were about consistency. So they obviously take note of what you're saying and apply it to your daily lessons, which I felt really helpful, and that was really good for me. The other thing that I found really useful with the app was that you can set notifications. So you can actually set the app to notify you at certain times of the day when to eat. So it will flash up, eat dinner, eat breakfast, things like this. And this may not be a big deal for you, but I have quite a busy day-to-day life. So occasionally I would actually miss meals simply because I either run out of time or I just haven't prepared anything. So these reminders are quite useful for me, and I feel like I've stuck to the majority of meals quite well because of these reminders. The app's also very good because you can set your own SOS. So if you, for example, I set mine that if I don't track my food for 2 days, I would get a reminder to say, this is your SOS, basically, get your bum in gear, what you're doing, that kind of thing. So that was really helpful as well. And I did fall off a couple of days towards the end, and I got that message, and it was a good reminder that I needed to pick myself up and just carry on. I wanted to just share some positive features that I found with the app. The best thing for me I found was the accountability. This was certainly the biggest thing that I was looking for when choosing an app like this to work with. The reason I've hired coaches in the past is not necessarily because I need help with the diet or what exercise to do. It's because I need someone there to be held accountable to. So it just helps me every day say, oh, I can't miss today. I must do what I'm supposed to do to keep me on track. The app I found to be really good for this. I found that I was a bit more mindful when using the app as well. So sometimes before this, I wouldn't go out if it was raining, or I may just be like, oh, I'm too tired today. I'll just do it tomorrow. It's fine. And then I just wouldn't do it tomorrow either. So I found that using this app, it did just make me go out and just take myself out even when I wasn't comfortable to do so. Hello! So I'm halfway through my Noom trial, and it is pouring with rain, but I decided that I would come for my daily walk anyway because it's made me be a bit more mindful. But yeah, it's awful. On a regular day I would have snuggled up on the sofa and I'd be watching a film. But no, I'm outside in the pouring rain, getting my steps. So we'll lose that another pound. Let's do it. The app was very easy to use. Certainly no problems with that. So even if you're not au fait with using like MyFitnessPal or anything like this, I found it was very easy to use. Everything was there and ready for you. The other thing that I really liked about Noom was that it accepts that weight loss isn't straightforward. It accepts and anticipates that you're going to have these moments where the scales go up or your motivation goes down, and it factors that in. So as I said before, you set your own SOS messages in case you suddenly fall off the bandwagon. It also suggests reasons why you might lack motivation some days and how to stop that, how to anticipate that in advance. The other thing is that it also acknowledges that sometimes your weight's going to go up and go down. So it basically says as long as it's going on the downward trajectory, it expects the bumps in the road. So I felt that was really helpful. It's a very realist approach to weight loss, and yeah, I found that quite refreshing. Whilst there were a lot of positive points with the app, I do have to mention some negatives as well. I would certainly suggest that the app is possibly more tailored towards beginners, so people who have only just started the weight loss journey, who perhaps haven't eaten healthily in the past, perhaps don't go to the gym or anything like that. Um, I think it's potentially more suitable for absolute beginners, but as an experienced weight loss person, I would say it's absolutely fine to use in any event. It's certainly got the accountability, which is the one thing that I needed. So suitable for everybody, but I would just say it's possibly more tailored towards those right at the beginning of the journey than the end. Another negative that I found right at the beginning was that I was put on a 1200 calorie diet. For me, that scared me to bits. I was like, 1200 calories is nothing. So yeah, I was a bit concerned about that. It didn't make it very clear, but I found out a couple of days into my trial that you can earn back half of the calories that you burn through exercise. So for example, if your base is 1200 calories, you then burn 500 calories doing fantastic exercise, you then get 250 calories back on top of your base calorie intake. So you'd then get 1450 calories to play with, which is a lot better, much better. So given that I was exercising as well as using this app, that was really beneficial, but I think it could have made it a little bit clearer from the onset, because I had a couple of days where I was feeling really low on energy, just because I wasn't eating enough. Another negative, the database for the food. So when you track your food and you put it in, I found that apps like MyFitnessPal, they had a much bigger database of food, and obviously on MyFitnessPal you can also scan it in. I didn't find any way to scan in food. You have to put it in manually if it's not already in the database, which could be quite time consuming. But again, as the app grows, the database will grow, and I understand that. The last negative that I found was just that I had so many notifications going on every day, which, given some of them I had actually created myself, so I'd put on notifications for all 3 meals and 2 snacks a day. So I was getting 5 notifications for that. I was getting another notification that my tasks were ready, and then any messages on top of that. Plus, I was setting myself a 10,000 steps a day goal to hit, so I was having to do that. Plus my everyday job, plus the food tracking, the reading, everything like that. It did get a little bit too much. So I think if I was to extend my time with Noom, I would probably get rid of some of the notifications just to kind of mentally break myself. But yeah, the notifications were great. They were a big help, but I think specifically on days where I was really busy, sometimes it just got a little bit too much. I really enjoyed using Noom. In the 2 weeks that I tried it, so 14 days, I lost just under 4 pounds. So given that the weekly goal is kind of 1 to 2 pounds of healthy weight loss, I was really pleased with that. I completely nailed that, so that's good. I was already kind of eating alright anyway, so I didn't change my diet too much. I think the only good thing that Noom helped me with was to become a little bit more observant of what I was eating, just to be a bit more mindful. It definitely gave me the accountability factor, so on days where I potentially would have just sat back and watched TV, I did get myself out and walking to get my daily steps, so it really helps me with that. On my before and after pictures, I can definitely see, even in 2 weeks, there was a lot of benefits. So specifically, my waist has come in a little bit, certainly around my shoulder area. This is where it starts to show the quickest for me. So that I did think there was some difference. And yeah, overall, I was really happy. The trial that I did, when I first started, it gave me three options of payments. So the minimum being £1, the maximum being, I think it was £14 something. Probably psychology at play there as well. I did only pay £1 for the 14-day trial, figuring that if it was really good, then I would, of course, carry it on. I think the plan then is £114 for 3 months, I think, although I would need to check that. That's probably going to go up and down anyway. In comparison with having an online coach who sets out your meal plans, sets out your workouts and everything like that, and gives you the accountability, it is comparable. I would suggest Noom is possibly better value, but it's not quite as tailored as getting an online coach, a good one at least. But I would absolutely carry on with Noom. I think if you are looking to lose weight and keep it off, it was educationally very valuable. I've really enjoyed learning actually. The bits that you are given to digest every day, I feel really valuable. And I do think that if you completed the plan, it would be really beneficial to you. And I think that you've got a good chance of keeping the weight off. So I'm definitely considering taking on the full Noom plan. I'm just going to give a couple of other things to go first, and then I might well come back to Noom. So, if you've just started out on your own weight loss journey or you've tried Noom for yourself, I would absolutely love to hear from you and hear your experiences. Also, if you have any questions, please pop them in the comments below and I'll try to come back to you as soon as I can. And I really look forward to seeing you in my next video.